Shilonen's kit brings two unique ways to amplify team damage. One is her elemental skill, that, provided you have at least two elemental units in the team that fall under the PHEC category, will reduce the resistances of all enemies within a range by an amount that scales with the death percent and talent levels of her elemental skill. The second way is through her signature artifact set, Scroll of the Hero of Cinder City. This set works on any Nathan support, provided this support can trigger the corresponding reaction of the elements in the team that matter the most. Now let's dive a little in depth as to why dual Crystallize matters so much when you're playing a DPS that falls under the PHEC category. When playing Geo DPS like Navia and the sample team, the reaction that's being triggered when using Shilonen's skill is Geo Crystallize, which involves Geo as an element in and of itself. But dual Crystallize is irrelevant here because the Cinder City set considers both Geo and Hydro in its buff. An important takeaway is that Shilonen's kit and Cinder City are independent of each other, while still making Shilonen an excellent use of the set.
Your journey ends here, Lord of Sun. Your sacrifice is ready.
In this team, Yelan contributes more than just enabling wave reactions for Arlecchino. She deals a significant amount of damage herself. So instead of the usual single swap E, we will instead follow a more curated rotation. First, scale on Arlecchino to apply her mark. Next, swap to Shilonen to alt. The reason we don't use skill first is because the Cinder City buff lasts for 20 seconds, where Shilonen's Shred lasts 15. Next, swap to Yelan and wait for the skill and instantly ult to catch the particles. Swap back to Shilonen to use her skill, normal attack twice to trigger her skill Shred. Right now, Cinder City has triggered reactions of 3 elements, Geo, Pyro and Hydro. So now with this new rotation, Yelan can make use of the elemental buff just as good as Arlecchino can. Next, swap to Arlecchino, charge stack to absorb the mark and go absolutely bananas on the enemy. I will also include some of my gameplay optimizations that I discovered when playing this team. Arlecchino's charge track, when consuming her mark, actually applies an instance of Pyro, and Yelan's ultimate doesn't get triggered unless the input is specifically a normal attack. Charge track applies Pyro, not triggering Yelan's burst, and the normal attack input is essentially attacking an enemy with a Pyro aura on. This is allowing Yelan to forward vape on the next normal attack input, but this is really not what we want. We want Arlecchino's first normal attack to vape, especially considering she deals less damage over the course of her rotation. Her damage is affected by the amount of Bond of Life she has, and her normal attacks consume Bond of Life. Now, if we instead swap to Arlecchino and cancel her charge tag, she still consumes the mark, giving her the Bond of Life without actually applying Pyro on the enemy. Next, her normal attack can be cancelled too. I found that N1J cancel works much more comfortably than N1 dash, but this depends on how much flair you want. If Arlecchino doing a cute silly jump in combat doesn't fit your taste, then you can go ahead and perform an N1 dash cancel, although this timing is much more tight compared to N1J. Additionally, the reason this works on Yelan better than Xingqiu is because her burst trigger is extremely sensitive. Credits to 7th Please as he explores this in detail in his Shao Tips video, mentioning that her coordinated attack triggers at the very start of a normal attack input. Cancelling her normal attack ensures her first normal attack applies Hydro from Yelan's burst, and she can vape off of the actual first normal attack that does damage. Thank you for watching. If you made it to the end of the video, please comment something silly like I eat sandwich rolls for breakfast, so the others who left will have no idea what the f you're talking about. Okay, see you next time.